Today I'm going to be painting my bumper with this Allback linseed oil paint that can go directly over any surface, including any rust. It's all natural boiled linseed oil. It's a truly boiled linseed oil. It doesn't have any added synthetics. So I just stirred it up. All the solids are at the bottom, earth pigments in it, and just poured a little bit in a cup here. Now, unfortunately, I thought I had a sponge roller. I want to roll this on the bumper, but we've been having some sunny and fairly dry weather, so I want to at least get the first coat on, which is never going to look that good anyway. First coat generally doesn't look great, and this needs to go on in several thin coats for the best results. So I'm just going to use one of these little sponge brushes here and paint it on my bumper just to get that first coat done. Nice little sponge roller for me to finish it off. So here's my bumper before. I just taped off the plastic. By rights I should have removed it, but the clips underneath are a bit rusty and I don't want to just chance taking that off. So I taped off the plastic here, and after we sanded down all the rust spots and treated them with the rust converter, we just scuffed up the entire bumper with an orbital sander just to give it a little bit of grip there so it's not a slippery surface. And I'm going to go ahead now and coat on the first coat of linseed oil paint. So I don't mind the brush streaks being in it for the first coat because I'm going to do a rolled coat on for the second and the third coat. I just want thin layers on here, and I'll continue on until this bumper is all done. Okay, so here's the first coat that's just been brushed on, and you can see some brush strokes in it, but I'm going to roll on the next coats. And this paint is supposed to be a rust inhibitor as well as a nice paint, and it can be refreshed every couple of years with just a little buffing with some linseed oil, and it's completely non-toxic. So just going to wait for this to dry. It does have a long dry time, probably 24 hours before I'm going to stick on another coat, and it is a little humid here today, so maybe a little longer. But before I put another coat on, I want to make sure there's no tackiness left. So I'm doing the third coat of the Allback linseed oil paint now, and I was looking through a bunch of different things to try and get a nice like stippled texture on the bumper. And actually I found these just odd, hard kind of paper towels. Had a nice texture in here. And as you can see, I got the brush strokes on there, and all I'm doing is just pressing the paint in with the paper towel with the third coat. And just texturizing it. You can see over here in the corner how it looks more like a hammered iron look there, similar to what the tow hook looks like. And yes, there's some dust and actually some bugs ended up sticking to it because I'm doing this outside, but it's not a big deal. It's certainly better than a rusty bumper, and just a simple paper towel can do a great texture in it. So here's the finished product with the Allback linseed oil paint done on my bumper. And I'm pleased with it, actually. It took a long time because it does have to dry at least a full day in between, and we have a sort of damp climate. So it took a little while, and doing it outside, I probably wouldn't recommend that because it does get very tacky, and some bugs and dust and stuff will stick into it. But as you can see, the paper towel method of texturizing it turned out really well. I like that. It's better than brush strokes. And yeah, so now we'll just see how it fares through the winter and the salt and that sort of stuff. And actually I got a new differential cover in here, have the first coat of the Allback Linseed oil paint put on that as well. So I'm really pleased, and I can actually use it. It's an all-natural paint. It's non-toxic, and there's no VOCs. It's good for metal, rust, wood. We did all of our decks with it as well. I'm going to see what other little projects I can do with this Allback Linseed oil paint. And another thing I wanted to mention, it really took a very little amount of paint. I had one of these small glass jars from the dollar store with a rubber seal. Highly recommended for taking some of the paint out of the can and putting it into this, because the paint gets so sticky. It's really difficult to get the can lid off. I'd love to see them put this paint in like a jerry can style can with a smaller screw top on it. Similar to what they put their oil in. This is what the linseed oil comes in. And it's much easier. Yes, it is a little difficult to get that off, but much, much easier than opening the cans. And if the paint needs to be in tin, you can get like olive oil type jerry style cans, which would be better. But I usually just take some, put it out into this. And to tell you how much I used, I only fill this up, this little jar, about an inch high, and there's still about a ½ inch in the jar after doing the bumper 3 coats, the differential cover 1 coat, and there was plenty even left in the brushes that I just give a lick over my raised beds and stuff too, because this is safe for food grade areas. You don't have to use toxic paint. You can check out the Allback Linseed oil paint, and come spring I'll let you know how it fared on the vehicle throughout the winter in our harsh and snowy, salty climate. We use a lot of road salt here. Check it out. I'll link it in the description box below. And on their website there's a lot of testimonials of things you can use it on, boats and wood and chassis of cars and all that, so you can check it out.